Assange threatens the very fabric of empire by threatening its control over information. The empire never gives up until it's destroyed. He is not an autonomous free agent at all. There's a club of imperial information agenda setters, if you will. They are principally white, they are principally men, and they are principally from the United States and from, to some extent, from Western Europe. There is hope here. And we look to what's going on in the world of the BRICS. That's hope. He is not an autonomous free agent at all. He's answerable to the Council of Foreign Relations, to Chatham House, who come up with their consensus. But that consensus is in turn determined by the plutocrats, the corporate chieftains who essentially control the world. They are principally white, they are principally men, and they are principally from the United States and from, to some extent, from Western Europe. And that's it. So I'm going to make the link. I want to go back now to this notion of linking Assange to ideas of national sovereignty, to ideas of the non-aligned movement of Bandung, which is a kind of forerunner, isn't it, of the BRICS and of the multipolar or the multimodal or multi-model world that many of us wish to see. There's a club of imperial information agenda setters, if you will, taking their cues from people in established power. And the revolutionary insight of the Bandung Conference and of the movements, the calls a little bit later on for a new world information and communication order, which followed on the articulation of the concept of a new world economic order. This was just brilliant. There was a recognition that even supposedly sovereign nations actually weren't sovereign at all. They were totally suffused by Western capital, Western corporations, but their ability to deal with this new form of oppression was hampered by the fact that their sources of information came from the same privileged imperial place. New York, London, Paris. What's changed between then and now? Nothing has changed. Assange threatens the very fabric of empire by threatening its control over information. Pure and simple. He shows us a few seconds of outright murder of a group of, I believe to be totally innocent people, including 2 Reuters journalists, and discloses for all the world to see the murderous machine of the oppression by the American occupiers of a country, Iraq, that was invaded on totally false pretext and then occupied. The occupation supposedly came to an end, I believe it was in 2011, but there are still 2,500 US troops and contractors in Iraq. The empire never goes away. The empire never gives up until it's destroyed. And maybe the US national debt burden will facilitate that process, hopefully as soon as possible. And I'm going to just quickly make the link then between Assange and ideas of journalism. This is how we all suffer from Stockholm syndrome. We have been abused, and our parents were abused, and our grandparents are all subject to these kind of information, psychological operations. We kind of searching for ways. This is where we need the cognitive leap. Is it so extraordinary that the United States might be responsible for hitting a group of beachgoers in Sebastopol? Why would we ever think that was extraordinary or unusual or not to be expected if we have been exposed to the kind of revelations that Assange brought to our attention with respect to the atrocities that the West committed in Iraq and Afghanistan? And there is hope here. And we look to what's going on in the world of the BRICS. That's hope. We look at the befuddlement, the idiocy, the stupidity of our current generation of American and European, West European, European leaders. Yes, we could despair, but we should also see it as the beginning of the end of them. And I'll leave it at that.